You ever see one of those photos that just makes you stop and say, "Whoa, how did they even capture that?" Here's the secret. The photographer wasn't on the ground at all. They were above it. Drones have completely changed the way we see the world. This isn't just photography, it's a whole new perspective. Patterns, textures, and landscapes that were once invisible now come alive through the lens of a drone, giving us this incredible bird's eye view. So, how do we get this new point of view? It all starts with the tech.
You ever see one of those photos that just makes you stop and go, "Whoa, how in the world did they get that shot?" Well, here's the secret. Chances are the photographer wasn't on the world at all. They were above it. Drones have totally changed the game for photography, giving us this incredible bird's eye view that, not too long ago, was pretty much only for helicopters or big budget movies.
I mean, just look at these shots. You've got the intricate textures of a coastline over here, the wild, abstract geometry of a bridge over there. These are more than just pictures, right? They're patterns and perspectives that you literally cannot see from the ground. So how do we get this new point of view? It all starts with the tech.
You know, I absolutely love this quote. It just nails the whole vibe of drone photography. The art, the beauty, it's already there, sprawled out across the landscape. Drones are just the tool that gives us a brand new way to see it. It's like getting a new seat in the gallery of the world.
So, to really get how these incredible shots come to life, we've got to pop the hood and look at the tech that makes it all happen. Because it's not just about flying, it's about flying with a camera that can deliver some seriously professional-looking images and video.
Okay, first up is the gimbal. This little piece of magic is the unsung hero of all aerial photography. The best way to think of it is like a super steady robotic wrist for the camera. So while the drone is being bounced around by wind, or turning, or moving, the gimbal is making thousands of tiny adjustments every single second to keep that camera perfectly level. That is the secret sauce behind that buttery smooth cinematic video and those tack-sharp photos.
And the cameras themselves, they are just mind-blowing. Let's take a super popular drone like the DJI Mini 4 Pro. You're getting 48 megapixel photos, which is huge, and you can shoot video in gorgeous 4K at 100 frames per second, perfect for some epic slow motion. And all of this is packed into a tiny machine that can stay airborne for more than 30 minutes.
But you know what? The most important number on that entire spec sheet isn't the megapixels, it's this one, less than 249 grams. Now that might seem random, but trust me, this is the magic number in the world of recreational drones, and it was designed that way for a very, very specific reason.
So what's the big deal with being under 250 grams? Well, it was engineered to perfectly sidestep a bunch of regulations. Here in the US, if you're just flying for fun, a drone this light doesn't need to be registered with the FAA. It's also exempt from remote ID rules, which are basically a digital license plate for drones. This just blows the doors open for hobbyists and beginners, taking away some major headaches. It's a really smart piece of design that hits a regulatory sweet spot.
All right, so the tech is awesome, we get that. But just having a great drone doesn't mean you're going to take a great photo. Nope. That's where you, the pilot, and your creative vision come in. So let's talk about the art of the shot.
You'll find that the best drone photographers live by this simple but really powerful mantra. Imagine, plan, shoot. It all kicks off with an idea, right? A fresh angle on a place everyone's seen, or a hidden pattern in the landscape you want to show the world. Then you plan it out, and finally, you go make it happen.
What's so cool is how classic photography rules get a whole new life from up high. Take leading lines, for example. On the ground, you might use a path or a fence, but from the air, the scale just explodes. Entire rivers, coastlines, even the long shadows from a sunrise, they become these powerful tools to build your photo. You're not just guiding the eye anymore, you're literally using the bones of the landscape to create your image.
Drones also let you tap into the incredible power of patterns and contrast. From 400 feet up, a solar farm suddenly becomes this amazing geometric grid. A simple day at the beach turns into this gorgeous clash of textures and colors. The smooth sand, the foamy white waves, the deep blue water. You really do stop seeing the world as just a bunch of things and start seeing it as a canvas of pure shape and form. And you know what the best part is? A huge chunk of the creative work, that imagine and plan stuff, you can do it all without even leaving your couch. Seriously, tools like Google Earth and PhotoPills let you virtually fly over any spot on the planet,
find compositions, and even figure out the exact time of day for that perfect golden hour light. But of course, planning that perfect shot is one thing. Actually going out and getting it, well, that means dealing with real-world limitations and probably most importantly, playing by the rules of the sky.
And this brings us to one of the biggest questions new pilots always have. You see that flight time printed on the box, but real life? Yeah, real life can tell a very different story. So that DJI Mini 4 Pro we were looking at, the spec sheet promises a max flight time of 34 minutes, but that's in perfect lab-like conditions. You know, no wind, not too hot, not too cold. And then reality hits. This little story from an experienced pilot says it all. Your drone is constantly burning battery, just fighting the wind to stay in one spot. A strong headwind can literally chop your expected flight time in half, which is why you always plan to come home with plenty of juice left in the tank. So the two biggest battery killers are wind and cold. The type of batteries drones use, they just hate the cold. Their performance really drops off a cliff once you get below about 10 degrees Celsius or 50 Fahrenheit. So here's a great pro tip. In the cold, keep your batteries warm in an inside pocket of your jacket right up until you're ready to fly. A warm battery is a happy battery and a much more predictable one.
All right, last but definitely not least, and this part is absolutely non-negotiable. We have to talk about the rules. The second you become a drone pilot, you become a pilot. You're sharing the airspace, and that comes with some serious responsibility.
Now, the specific laws can vary depending on where you are, but these are pretty much the universal basics for flying safely and recreationally. Number 1, always be able to see your drone with your own eyes. Stay below 400 feet to stay out of the way of planes and helicopters. Give airports a really wide berth. And then, just use your common sense. Don't fly over big crowds of people, and always respect privacy. Flying safely is what keeps the skies open for all of us.
When you boil it all down, a truly amazing drone shot isn't just about the fancy tech. It's a perfect blend, a marriage of two things. On one side, you have the technology, the awesome cameras, the steady gimbals, but on the other, you have the pilot, who brings the artistic vision, the careful planning, and most importantly, the commitment to flying responsibly. You just can't have one without the other.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? For the very first time in history, we all have access to this incredible tool that gives us a perspective that used to belong only to the birds. A camera that can go almost anywhere. The only real limit at the end of the day is our own imagination. So the real question is, what would you do with it?
But it's not just about the tech. It's about a new way of seeing. The art and beauty are already there. Drones are just the tool that gives us a brand new seat in the gallery of the world. So the only real question is, what would you capture from the sky?